So, hi, we're here with Jessica Lynn to have a quick chat about all things music.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody.
Hi. So, you've recently released your latest single, Love Me That Way. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, this song I was very excited about because I feel like it's a good representation of who I am. It has a little bit of rock, a little bit of soul, a little bit of country, some Motownish harmonies. So everything that I really love kind of wrapped up into one song. I think if someone hears it, it gives a good picture of who I am as an artist and as a writer. And I always really felt connected to this one. I wrote it a few years ago on a radio tour, actually, in the front seat of a rental car driving around Iowa, and it went in my most recent television special, which is on Amazon Prime, actually, in the UK now. And I'm really excited about it. And I can't believe how well it's been received. There's always an element of anxiety when you release something new. Like, are people
Yeah.
going to connect with it? Is it going to do as well as the last one? And I can't believe how well it's done so far. So thank you guys that are streaming for that.
It has had a fantastic reception. It's received praise all over the place, and it's been streamed an incredible amount. You must be really happy with the reception it's had.
I am and shocked. You just never really. No, I just really, it's really crazy to me. It's really cool too to see how much growth we've had in terms of streaming and things like that, and it's just very exciting.
Brilliant. And you've also got an album coming out in 2021. Is that right? Yeah.
I do.
Brilliant.
It was only supposed to be an EP that we were releasing before the tour. We were supposed to leave for the tour May 27th of this year, I think. Over 12 countries, over 80 different dates. It all got canceled, sadly. We have moved it to next year. So we will be coming to the UK actually to start our tour in the beginning of May. But when we realized that everything was canceled, we're like, you know what? Let's make the most of this and let's turn this 6-song EP into a full length album. We're going to be home. We have time to record it. There's so much great new material. And it's been such a big blessing to be able to do that. This album's up to 13 songs.
Brilliant.
And I'm just really excited for everybody to hear it.
Fantastic. So where's it up to in terms of recording? You say it's up to 13 songs. Is that 13 songs recorded, written?
Yeah, I only have to do my vocals on 3 more tracks. So we're getting very close to being done, and then it will all be finally mixed and mastered. Um, and we got some cool UK collaboration stuff on it, actually, as well
Excellent.
as on my upcoming Christmas song that I'm going to be releasing soon. So all that news will come out too.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. So look forward to hearing about that more. Um, so in terms of the album then, you had obviously time to add the extra tracks in over the summer. But what's been the creative process in terms of actually writing those tracks? How do you approach it when you're going to write and record new music?
I always say that my process is to have no process. So for me, art and music should really come from your heart and not your head. And I've learned that lesson in the past, trying to just write for what I thought would be good on country radio or good on a big festival stage. And actually, in the beginning of this year, even pre-pandemic, I said, you know what? I'm going to sit down the beginning of 2020, and I'm only going to write just what I feel. I'm not going to think about anything.
Hmm.
And I've carried that with me throughout the year, and I think that it's the best stuff I've ever written. And because of that, your music shouldn't come from up here. And I think
Yeah.
it's so hard to get caught up in that when you're trying to make a name for yourself in the business. But it's so funny because you see how connected people become with your stuff when you really just kind of put your heart and your soul out there in a very genuine way.
Yeah. Fantastic. I mean, obviously you mentioned COVID's changed your plans for the album. For the EP becoming an album. But at the time when it happened, at the time that you were forced to unfortunately cancel the tour, what went through your mind then?
Devastation,
Yeah.
depression, anxiety. I This tour was a year in the making. It was a very big tour. We had more dates that were even being added that I never even got to announce. And as an independent artist, that all falls on me. That was my blood, sweat, and tears for over a year of work that went into that. And it was really hard to see it just crumbling. And to have no real end in sight. Like, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to go about piecemealing or canceling an 80-date, 12-country tour. Like, I've never had to do that before. And the scariest thing at first, which really had me in knots, my stomach really, was that everything didn't drop at one time. First, we lost the UK, and then we lost Austria, and then we lost Spain. And then, so there were all these holes all over this huge schedule, and I just didn't know what to do with it. At that point, I was just praying everything went so that we didn't have to deal with the stress of, oh, well, can we still get to Germany for this, or can we, and you didn't want to be the one to cancel the contracts, then the travel bans happened, and it was just very, very stressful. Every morning I would wake up and look at the email and just like hold my breath, like, oh, please, like something go right today. And then you start to see the silver lining in everything. You have to go through that feeling very sad. I cried for like probably 4 days straight. I was so upset. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to let this beat me. I brushed my shoulders off. I got up. I started doing live streaming. You have to make the most of every situation. You can't just lie down and get beat up by it.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the live streaming. You've done various different types of live streaming. You've done it with full band. You've done it yourself just with piano, which I believe you're doing tonight as well. Another show tonight. How have you found the live streaming experience?
At first, it was so extremely awkward. I was so nervous, and I don't really get nervous, but I was so nervous that I was shaking my first live stream. Because it's just so bizarre having no connection, usually even you finish a song and you say thank you. Here it's just dead silence and you have no idea like what, you can't feel anything. And it's weird speaking to the audience. It's weird feeling an energy from the audience. But then I started doing so many of them that I got incredibly comfortable with it. And they've been fun to try to think of different ways to keep them exciting or fresh. And it's been an interesting ride. And I have been absolutely blown away by the viewership on them. We've been charting every single week in live streams. And all of the internet, been top 40 every week since about 2 months now. And it's just strange how things take such a funny turn sometimes.
Definitely. I mean, once everything's returned back to, well, hopefully returns back to as normal as it can be, do you think there's still room for live streaming full concerts, fully produced with full bands? Do you think there's still room for that as part of sort of the way forwards for musicians?
Why not? Even if you can get out there, I mean, I've enjoyed connecting with my fans in such a different way through these live streams that I would be sad to stop them. Maybe you can't do them as much anymore. But it's funny. It's really funny you asked that, because even as we first started this interview, I thought to myself, why haven't I always been doing UK interviews like this face to face? Like, it's such a silly thing, but why not?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful way to get to see people that you wouldn't have gotten to see otherwise. And now I think everyone's becoming a lot more comfortable with it. And it's given me a different look into the people that support me too, to get to speak with them on such a personal level. After a show, there's so many people. You shake a hand and it's just kind of go, go, go. Yeah. This is like, I get to, my piano live streams every week, I get to hang out with these people for an hour and a half, talk to them, learn what they like, learn their names. It's really cool.
Yeah, fantastic. Obviously, the hope is that things get back to normal, and you've got your UK tour and your European tour now scheduled coming up in May 2021, including a Manchester gig at Gullivers. You must be looking forward to that more than ever now, because it's been so long since you've been able to get out on a stage.
I am. I can't describe the feeling to you that I felt doing our live band show at Daryl's house, our live stream. It was a little strange with no audience there, but to be on stage again, it's it was a feeling I can't really describe after wondering, will I ever get to do this again? I mean, this is something you worked your whole life for. And, I don't know if people that aren't in the arts and entertainment industry, I don't know if they truly understand the devastation that we've felt. I was explaining it to my friend the other day. It was funny. We were talking about it. He works in technology. And I said to him, he's been doing it a long time, like 20 years. And I said, which is like about the time I've been doing music professionally. And I said to him, imagine you wake up tomorrow and your office is gone. Your 9 to 5 that you've done for the last 20 years. It's just not there anymore. And you wonder, will I have to learn a new skill? Like, what do I need a new job? Will it ever come back? Like, what do I go from there? He's like, I never really thought about music being such an everyday, like it's who you are, just like everybody else that goes. Yeah. Like, I said, imagine your building just disappearing. He's like, I can't even imagine what I would go through mentally trying to figure out what to do next. And it's the feeling of being able to get back on the road again. And that's why people are always like, oh, I hope next year happens. I hope next year happens. I'm just saying when next year happens, because I think that we need that hope and that positive thinking to get there. If everyone's like, oh, all the time, it's like you got to attack anything in your life with that mindset. Like, it's going to happen. It's going to be great. A positive outlook can really change the way things happen.
Definitely. I mean, we mentioned you coming back to Manchester. You played here last year at Night People, and we can vouch for how good a gig that was. It was fantastic.
Thanks.
What goes into preparing for a gig? How do you prepare it? Sort of mentally, how do you prepare for it? And how do you work out the production, the set list, everything that goes alongside it?
It's a lot of work, which is also why this year was extremely bizarre for us, because we were supposed to leave May, I think 27th for the tour. And the band started rehearsing in February. So we were in all these intense rehearsals. I was writing all this new music. We're working on our choreography and our transitions and everything. And we did one show, March 11th. It's a special venue here. We do it once a year. It's where we filmed my first TV special, what kicked off my whole career. So we always go back there and do something special. So this year was like the preview kickoff to like this huge world tour that we were doing. And I remember the excitement of that night. Like, oh, I can't wait for people to hear this new music. We've been working so hard. I can't wait to take this on the road. And then the next day, it was just done. Yeah. And it's months of work, months of effort, months of excitement, and this feeling in your stomach, like, oh, I can't wait to go and show people this. And it was very strange to have like the rug just ripped out from under us. But I mean, I'm a perfectionist too. I'm a very type A personality. So I like perfection in everything that we do. And we work very, very hard to try to bring something that we're going to be really proud of.
Fantastic. And you mentioned your TV specials, and you mentioned earlier your Amazon Prime special as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that came about?
It's an interesting story, actually. I was doing rock and roll music my whole life, which I'm sure people can guess if you see my live show. It's very high energy rock and roll themed, I guess. And I had a series of heartbreaks with my high school rock and roll band that went into college years. And I was so fed up of people. No one, ever since I was like 5 years old, I knew this is what I want to do. I didn't spend the weekends as a kid going out playing with friends. I spent them singing and practicing and working towards my dreams. And it was very difficult to find other kids or young people that had that same mentality, that just intense focus and drive. And I said, after so many letdowns of people just ruining opportunities, I was very close to a major record deal when I was a teenager that someone else in the band ruined for me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be a solo artist. I've always loved country music. Something in my heart is telling me to do country music. And I said to my dad, who's my manager, he's also my bass player, I said, let's record a demo. I want to do country and I want to be a solo artist. he said, everybody does like a demo. Let's do something different. You're New Yorker, you're Italian. Let's capitalize on you being different. Do something different.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this venue that was opening, the one I just mentioned, that we did kind of our kickoff show. And it wasn't even, nothing was open yet. They were transitioning this old stone church into a performance venue. So my dad knocked on the door and was like, hey, can we take over your space and like film something in here before you open? Cheapest camera crew we could find. I put the band together in like 1 month. I wrote all the material so fast. We filmed, I always say, a shoestring budget and a dream. We filmed that special. And I was fighting with my dad. I'm like, who is ever going to air this? Like, oh, here's this unknown person. Put it on television. Like, yeah. I said, everybody would do it if you could do it. He said, worst comes to worst, you have a live CD, you have some video to shop your new band and your music with. I was like, okay. Yeah. He pretty much dragged me kicking and screaming to do that show. And he loves when I admit that I was wrong. And it went nationwide on television. And it started my whole career. Then the year it went live, we got calls to open for Brad Paisley. I went on tour with Jody Messina. We were playing with Keith Urban. And like, it was a dream come true. And then we did 3 more that also went nationwide. And the most recent 2, one is like a big, like dancers type of big production in a big theater. That's on Prime Video in the UK, also in the USA. And then the most recent one is a stripped down acoustic storytelling behind the music type of special.
Amazing. Brilliant. Well, they all sound wonderful. I haven't managed to catch the Amazon one yet, I'm ashamed to say, but I will be doing soon. Okay. Obviously, you come back to UK. The album's going to be out in time for that?
Yep, we're releasing it. We have perfectly planned it to release 2 days before we come. But if we do have an option that if you pre-order the album through my website, it comes signed and you'll get it before the holidays. So you're getting it like 5-6 months before everybody else.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, Jessica.
Thank you. This is so nice. And I have to say, when I see you next year, I am very much looking forward to it.
Definitely. Well, I'll definitely be there at Gullivers and look forward to seeing you again. As I say, caught you last year. You were fantastic. And definitely looking forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you soon.
You too. Thank you.